There are reports, and you would have heard the Minister of Police confirming this in Parliament when he was asked by the Democratic Alliance, that 139 police officers at just 13 police stations have gender-based violence charges hanging over their heads. This is according to Police Minister Bheki Cele, and as I mentioned earlier on, it was during a written parliamentary response to the Democratic Alliance this week. For a reaction on this, I'm joined by Mr. Peter Ntsime, and he's the Acting Deputy General Secretary of the South African Police Union. And Dr. Ntsime, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Now, these are quite alarming statistics, specifically when you consider that women go to police officers when they find themselves involved in gender-based violence cases. And if the police officer themselves is a perpetrator of this kind of violence and this kind of crime, it basically spells doom for those who go to report such cases. What do you make of these findings?
No, thank you, and thank you for having us. It is indeed disturbing. We are also worried as the labor organization within the police environment about the stats that we heard from the Minister of the Police. Look, there is no justification or whatsoever for gender-based violence, irrespective of whether it's being committed by members of the police or by members of the public. Gender-based violence is an issue currently in this country. So we are worried about the state that we received. There are quite a lot of elements that cause this, and we're looking at it to say, what is it that needs to be done? We are concerned about this because members of the public will not have trust, particularly women who have to go and report this. But you need to understand also that this is not just crime committed against those who reported the matter. It's also crimes committed by members of the police in their where they live, residential place. So it's a societal issue. There is a problem in the society where we live in. Thus, we say that there is no justification for gender-based violence. We are worried, of course, as the union, that our members are involved in this kind of crime in terms of 139 members that have been identified or that are being investigated for this crime. We believe in the rule of innocent until proven guilty, but we will engage a ministry, pardon me, we will engage a ministry on this issue and the commission of the police.
So perhaps let's break down these 139 police officers. How many of them are actually charged, and how far did their cases go as far as convictions?
Look, the investigation is conducted by the IPIT, and of course we don't have the stats as a union, and the stats lies with the Office of the Commissioner of the Police and the Ministry, because this is conducted independently so by members of the IPIT or the IPIT themselves. We do not have the stat as now. What we got was 139 members that are being investigated on this crime. We don't even know where this crime was committed, except that there are provinces where these members are based. So we don't have the state as a union at the moment.
The numbers that we have here is 139 police officers in 13 stations. And if you look at these 13 stations that were highlighted, 5 of those stations actually fall within the top 30 of the GBV hotspots that the minister had mentioned earlier on when he was giving the crime stats. But I wonder if you know how many of these 139 are actually actively in service right now. How many are actually still working on the field?
Also on that one, we do not have the stats. Like I said, that the stats are with the Office of the Commissioner of the Police. What we know is the process that when a case of this serious nature is reported, in most cases a member will be placed on precautionary suspension. Then there's a process that we call internal disciplinary process, and there's a expeditious process that is always conducted. But in most cases, the police will wait for a report from IPIT in terms of whether these allegations are so serious, not so serious in terms of the allegation, but there is a prima facie case against the the member who is alleged to be involved in this crime. And if indeed there is a prima facie case, they will kickstart the process, whether to put the member on suspension, to remove the member from the station where he's working. The only thing that we know is that the state itself are alarming. The state are worrisome. We are worried as the union that our members are involved in this kind of crime.
And what type of efforts and measures are you as the union going to be putting in place if you don't have anything already in order, I guess, to educate your members and to capacitate them to not only be perpetrators in their own lives, but also to better serve the community that goes to them for protection and safety and justice?
We are doing everything in our power to engage. We are engaging with our members in various meetings. We have engaged with the Commissioner of the Police. Just last month, our President Thami Ngubeni, was at the seminar where they talk about the gender-based violence. We have also reported to this Imbizo that we need to be involved in drafting a position paper to the portfolio committee about addressing the issue of gender-based violence. Remember that this issue of gender-based violence is a societal issue. There are quite a lot of aspects that one has to look at in terms of us resolving this issue. But in terms of our members, one of the other issues in the police itself, there is what we call Employee Health and Wellness Department. That department is not assisting. Our members are exposed to traumatic scenes. They go to murder scene, they go to accident scene, they attend this scene. He's from the scene, there is a pressure at work. When he gets home, from the pressure at work, there is no debriefing. And in terms of the law, this member must receive debriefing. Some of them, they have to see their own colleagues being killed. As you know, that police officers are killed on a daily basis in this country. When they get home, they can't take the pressure now. Then that is where you get the report of this gender-based violence. Because gender-based violence is all about power. Is one exercising his power over the other. That is why we always explain to them that if there is a problem, whether financial problem, social problem, they must engage with us, because as a union, we do assist them with social services that we pay as a union, that we assist them, that they need to get help, they need to be assisted, because it's a disease on its own. This is not just issues of one exercising power, but it's also a mental issue to say, our members feel that they can take their anger to the next person. We also engage the ministry about this issue. We will be marching as a South African Policing Union on the 16th of next month, talking about the issue of gender-based violence, police killing, and suicide in the police. And these are some of the measures that we can do, or we are doing as a union, to address this issue.
Mr. Ntsime, I have to unfortunately cut you there, but I thank you very much for your time, as well as the measures that you and your union say you're going to be putting in place there.